guys, Bobby, Jared and Vinny here from Peak Performance Academy. On today's video of the journey, we're going to go a little bit deeper into our foods and our meal spacing, how many meals we eat per day and the kind of timing between meals and stuff like that. So the first thing we'll talk about is we'll just go through our week. So, how was your week, Vinny?
Week-wise, training was good. Changed the training split up a bit. Now I'm adding in a bit more condition work just to help for football, just so I can be fit on the field and off the field but moving more weight, strength is going up, so things are going well that way. It's just taking a bit longer to recover now this week with that extra bit of volume, so definitely feeling it, but training's definitely going better.
Just on my behalf, training's been going very well. In kind of a rep personal best, probably the best I felt training wise in a while, not due to the extra food, so from a training point of view everything's going to plan.
My week, was good. It's the same, really. It's into the second week of a new program. So last week there was a bit of a lull on a Wednesday. We spoke about this week that wasn't there, so that was good. Recovery wise was good this week. So there's nothing really to say this week on my week. It was fine. Weights were where they should be, and say recovery was better. So that was a huge thing.
Just coming from a food front, I suppose. What I mentioned last week about my high carbohydrate approach, which is basically protein intake, I would just go 2.2 grams per kilo of my body weight. Then I would just keep fat around 0.6. For me it's around the 50 gram mark, and then literally everything else is carbohydrates. So at the moment I'm actually hitting around the 600 gram mark of carbohydrates. And then I mentioned tracking my blood glucose, which I actually did this week twice. So you track that fasted, and it's within the healthy range, which basically just means I'm still insulin sensitive, so I can still process and store carbohydrates efficiently, which is good.
For myself, as I say, the last few weeks and months I've been on kind of 4,000 calories. So this last week I've increased a little bit by 200-300 calories. I suppose realistically for me it's kind of 4 meals a day suits me. I think most of us are kind of on that, but that's kind of what I like. The way that I like to eat is kind of a breakfast, lunch, snack and then dinner. That's the way I work. I wouldn't be a huge food person, so like getting in extra food is difficult at times. I would just eat my main meals and I eat them quite big, so that kind of what suits me. That increase in calories I've just brought from carbs a little bit, so that's kind of just to aid recovery more than anything else, and just see if I can get the scales kind of plateaued a little bit, so I need to get that moving again. But that's the kind of way I break my meals down. The first one is just post training, which we just had there at 8 o'clock, and then the next one will be about 12 o'clock, and the next snack is normally about 4, and then I eat my dinner when I go home at night, which could be either 8:30 or 9:30 depending on the work split that day.
I think this week now was the first week I was trying 4 meals per day, and I usually would have had about 5 meals and a snack, just so I felt like it was easier to get in the amount of calories I was eating. So I'm up to about 4,500 calories, but this week I just cut back to 4 meals and upped the volume of the meals I was eating. So basically 2 of those meals are oats anyway, and I'm finding it a lot easier to get in the calories. I'm actually feeling hungrier more so than I was when I was eating more meals. So it's definitely helped with the weight gain side of things. So it's definitely what I'm going to stick to anyway for the future.
Yeah, and I'm the same in that front. So I would have been like Vinny, and like I would definitely say I'm a food person. Anyone that knows me would say that as well.
The Hoover.
Yeah. And me and Vinny we were doing a bit of study, and we were just seeing the stress of eating big meals frequently actually puts a lot of strain on your digestive system, and it could like impair sleep and stuff like that. So we've actually swapped this week to 4 meals, and I actually feel like that my sleep quality and stuff is better, so I'm going to try to stick with that now and see how it goes.
I suppose the biggest thing for people watching the video as well is, say you're not we're not the same goal as ourselves, but it's just general nutrition. It's just kind of takeaway point is that if nutrition is quite simple once you don't get carried away with social media or get too sciencey on it. So on a basic level, if you look at it, we're eating 4 meals a day. We have a simple breakdown of protein, carbs and fats, and after that then it's just enjoying the meals and just getting used of how to put them together. And that's the kind of key thing as well, that we speak about food here, but it's quite a simple process, and that's why I suppose when we coach nutrition and stuff, we really try to get it across to the client on that basic level that they can get a starting point. And obviously when we go more into percentages and all that stuff and blood glucose, that's just taking it to the next level of what we need to look at. But you know, for people just listening, that's just kind of takeaway point that it is quite simple, and just getting that structure in place is absolute key. Like we have our structure, we know how many meals we're going to eat per day, and we know the times of them, and then we just have to break down the quantities, and that's it.
When you know the structure of your meals and you know what you're eating, same thing every day, it's a huge stress off your shoulders. Even going into Tesco or in the supermarkets when you're buying your food, or even if you're working off MyFitnessPal, instead of having to worry about how many calories or proteins you have to get in, at least you know exactly what you're eating, and it's just a huge stress, and you can just focus on other things like studying or work or any other hobbies or anything you're into. It's just a huge stress off the shoulders, I think, for myself anyway.
Definitely, yeah.
If there's anyone watching and they're kind of wondering like where do I start with my own nutrition, we always say to people, like, if you cannot control your calories and you don't know how to do that, worry about that first, and literally nothing else matters until you're able to do that.
Yeah, that's really important. As I say, that's a great starting point, and from there then you can just, again with everybody, it's just building their knowledge on it as well, and building them habits. And I think people a lot of the time are looking for too much variation at the start. You know, if you can just keep it basic, get a breakfast you like, a lunch you like, a dinner you like, and kind of have one or two changes of maybe a carb source there, a protein source, could be your meats or fish, and your fats, just adding a little bit of fats through the day, and just start like that, and don't be trying to look for, I need to have such a variety in my dinners and my lunches and all that stuff. You need to start somewhere and get your body and your mind that it's habit based, and you're used to doing the system and your 4 meals, and you're used to cooking the foods and the quantities, and then you can go into variety because you're a bit more skilled in.
Will you go through how we kind of eat in the weekend?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
So basically just how we eat in the weekend, just to give you insight there. So myself anyway, I follow a meal plan every training day, so that will be Monday to Friday and Sunday. And then on Saturday we all kind of have a routine where Saturday we kind of MyFitnessPal, and we might eat out and get a meal out. So we're not technically on prep to compete yet, so we don't want to employ the restrictions until it's crunch time when May and June come.
Yeah, because there's that social side of the weekend as well, where you want to go out maybe and have a nice meal out, or have a coffee or something. So when we do go out in the weekends, what I tend to do on Saturday's a rest day, I kind of go a little bit less carb and a little bit more fat. Not a huge difference, but a little bit more. But other than that, like Jared was saying, we're not on full prep at the moment, so it's not all restrictive. You know, you can eat outside the lines a little bit. Because the volume of training is so heavy at the moment, the body just requires them calories. But we would all be on the path of, it's not trying to put on weight through, we'll say, dirty eating. It's clean foods. I mean, when we do go out to eat, or we eat out on the weekend, we like nice foods. So we don't go for, like personally myself, I'm not really a sweet person, so I wouldn't go desserts and stuff like that. I'd be more probably, if I was out, I like to, like for instance, maybe Thai food or something in town with eggs and stuff that I wouldn't have during the week, because I typically don't have. So I would always eat out, and I would always look for maybe fish and stuff like that, because I don't eat a lot of fish, so I try to get it to weekends.
And so even not following a meal plan at the weekend, kind of it's part of maybe one meal out. Everything is kind of just habit anyway. Like, so you're waking up, the first meal is usually oats anyway, and usually then maybe like a bagel and turkey burgers, kind of bar that one meal. Even though you're not really following a meal plan, it's just everything's just habit anyway. Like, you just, because you're eating the foods you like all the time anyway, so it's more or less the same foods at the weekends anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like, with good nutrition, or like if you want to start and improve how you eat, building those good habits are key. Like, so most people have developed poor habits. Like, if you want to be successful long term, like, good habits are going to be essential.
And also, like, when we talk about reading calories and stuff, when you go into a restaurant, and we'll say a few places that we've been recently, when you look at the likes of menus and stuff, people can get a little bit, they can misinterpret the menu a little bit. They need to look a little bit deeper into the foods they're eating. You know, like for instance, if a person goes into a cafe and has a coffee and a cappuccino, or cappuccino we'll say, and a scone, people don't realise that they're putting in possibly about 500 to 600 calories just in that meal. And if you see we put out on a plate what you could eat for 500 or 600 calories, it's a huge amount of food. So that's kind of where people think, oh, I only had a scone or something like that, and thinking my nutrition is fine, sure, I only had that and I only had a little bit of this. But that's where the calories can creep up, and I think when people eat out and stuff, they that's where a huge factor in their nutrition, that they lose the run of themselves a little bit, and they're not understanding how many calories are actually in these foods. And I think that more so, a lot of restaurants now are going to go down that road of calories, and obviously it's going to be brilliant for the consumer, because they can come in, they can look at a meal and they can say, okay, that's X amount of calories, and it's very, very easy for them to manage their nutrition. So hopefully that's the way it's going to move forward, because it needs to.
Like, that'll help people a lot in a way as well, because just because you see on Instagram someone you're following just like eating something with eggs and avocado and it's quote unquote healthy, like, unless they could have about 700 or 800 calories in it, like you could take up like half your daily intake. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean you should be eating it.
Like, there was one place just last year where myself and Jared were in Alicante, and we had trained and we went to this place, it was called MoFit. Very interesting, because they had calories in all their foods. Very simple menu, very, very simple process of getting stuff. You just ordered, you say for instance they had a turkey burger with some sweet potato fries, but they were baked and everything was calorie controlled. So we knew when we finished our workout, we went in, we had X amount of calories to consume, we were able to get a protein shake, and then we were able to get our breakfast or lunch or whatever time of day it was in a certain amount of calories. It was a great system, and it was so easily done by them. And obviously that's a very, very popular thing out there as well. But that's hopefully something that's going to come to Ireland, because it's huge. Like.
Yeah, and like it kind of sounds tedious, like having to control your calories and all that all the time. But like, to be fair, like we're big advocates of it. It's your health, like, so we kind of believe your health is worth putting in the effort of counting calories and putting in the effort with your nutrition.
And a lot of time, and even in that restaurant, for instance, now we had spotted it in the past. The food was really good there. We went back there three times over the course of the weekend, because the food was so good. It wasn't like that you were eating. People think that, okay, calorie control foods, that maybe we get a lot from clients saying, oh, it's boring foods. It's not. It's just the way that it's cooked, and it's the way that the imagination of the person that's doing it is a huge thing. And we really enjoyed it. It was a really nice place. It would be brilliant if it was in Ireland, but it's not here yet.
I wasn't invited.
Yeah, it was just myself and Hoover. So guys, that's basically what it was like for all of us this week, and I hope that was informative in terms of our nutrition and our meal spacing. Next week we are going to go a little bit more into, because we just spoke about it this morning, about the weekends, because there is this Friday feeling that comes in, and we're always very happy on a Friday, but most people, and currently I'm just looking at two clients that really lose the run of themselves on a Saturday and a Sunday. So maybe we look into the weekends a bit more, and the strategies you can apply for coming into that weekend phase and not letting it all go, and then come back on Monday and you're back to square one again. Okay guys, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.